last year. I don't know how long we've been around, but we used to be in Lately Hall, which is condemned right now. And but occasionally we have students coming in and taking a tour and saying, "Oh, that was my room." And then the cockroaches come out of the ceiling. Now we're in a very nice suite in Smith Hall, across from Communication Studies. It's the old dark room, so there are no windows. So some of us are putting up our own window decals.
With the beach outside.
That was
a tree in my office.
Yeah, the tree in our office. I don't have much of anything. I'm not much of a decorator. For the RBA, you need to be at least 4 years out from high school graduation, so you're not going to be targeting the same students in general we are. High school seniors don't need to be coming to the RBA. Maybe in 5 or 6 years, they'll come for us, but not immediately. It's standard program in the sense that other Marshall programs require 120 hours, 39 per level. There's no major. It's actually legislated that there is no major for the Regents Bachelor of Arts degree. Students can get an area of emphasis, and those who listen on our website, they can get any minors that Marshall offers. But we always tell them it's not required, so they shouldn't slow down their graduation in order to get to us. A lot of students will transfer to us in their last semester and actually finish our degree. So even though we have about 300, 350 enrolled, we graduate 250 a year, which tells you something about how many students we're churning through. So actually, student is extremely busy graduating students. Our education requirements are very flexible. Most students who come into our program already have a lot of college, so they will tend to already have completed most of our general education requirements. We have a lot of different choices, and we're very generous with transfer credits as well. As far as I know, the Regents program, and make sure students don't call it the Regency program, because Regency program would mean they were kings and queens. The Regents program means they're graduating from our program. We don't have a board of regents anymore, so students are always asking about this. But it's 100% online, so a lot of students who might live in Point Pleasant, Tays Valley, South Charleston, they will actually finish up with our degree because they are able to finish up without coming to our campus. We have students from Louisiana, we've had students from Europe, we've had people deployed to Afghanistan taking courses. We've had students from all over coming to take courses. About half our students take all of their coursework online, if not more than that. A lot of students use the RBA as a stepping stone to a master's degree, particularly counseling, Bachelor of Business Administration, or the Master's of Business Administration, Master of Arts in Teaching. Those tend to be our big three programs, but students often ask us, can you get a master's degree with an RBA? And we say yes. There are certain programs that you have to have a bachelor's degree in that field, but most programs, especially professional programs, are looking more for your coursework, your test scores, how you did. So they're more interested in that. One of the unique things about our program, one of the reasons the program was started, is prior learning assessment. Is we can actually award credit for learning that's taken place outside of the classroom. So students who have worked in business for a long time, who have military training, other kinds of training certifications, radiology licenses, for example, we can actually award credit for that even if they didn't get college credits for it. There's two ways they can do that. One is we have a big book, which basically says these are the kinds of credit you can get, so it's already been worked out by either the RBA directors and the American Council of Education. The other way is they can write a portfolio, so they can actually petition for credit. So if they think they have credit equivalent to management, marketing, political science, accounting, all sorts of different courses, criminal justice, we have a lot of students coming from there. They can actually get credit for those courses. Those are actually, I help them prepare that, vet it before I send it out to faculty, and then the faculty actually evaluate it. So sometimes students will say, oh, I have 30 years experience and I own my own business. And I'm like, well, you have to write a portfolio and have to submit to somebody else. I can't just tell you, oh yeah, that's 100 credit hours right there. So I'm not that magical. I'm a little magical, but not that magical. So, another opportunity is they have the opportunity to test out using CLEP or Dante's test. Marie Willis, who's in our office, administers this test. And and so students cost around $100 each. We're the only program that keeps all of them on campus, but sometimes students will say, hey, I want to get my college math requirement out of the way. They'll come in and they'll take that test, but we will accept all of those towards the grade. The ideal candidates for our program, students with prior college experience is our biggest number. The average age in our program is 34. We graduated somebody a few years ago who's 85. He had been bank vice president. He'd been FDIC bank inspector. He'd also been the economic development authority, one of those people, and went all around to make sure people were doing something correctly. Banks and his daughter actually said, you need to finish your degree. So he came back. He had last went to school in 1957. We pulled his old transcripts. We talked to some people. He'd been in the Navy. He had experience that way, and lots of experience in banking. And basically, he was able to finish his college degree without taking additional coursework because of all the 60 plus years of experience he had since he was last in college. Other groups that we cater to, students who switch majors a number of times. Major, we're very flexible, so we can take, you don't have to start over when you're with us. Students who transferred from community colleges, a lot of students come in with 60 or more hours, and we can take up to 72 hours towards bachelor's degree. So that's good. A lot of times it's a better option for them to go ahead and finish their bachelor's degree and then go on for a master's degree rather than spending 4 years in finishing a bachelor's degree. Active military who might be in remote locations. Veterans often have a lot of military training. They often have schools from all over. A lot of them went to for-profit schools, American Public University, American Military University, and we will take all of those credits as long as they're from accredited schools and apply them to their degree. We also have a lot of students who are working, raising a family full-time, and they don't fit into the standard college student schedule. So we don't see as many people coming in and out of our office as some of the other colleges do, but we answer the phone a lot. We've been answering emails, phone all day for the last, month. and students are still coming in. Some people who graduate the RBA you may have heard of, the previous interim president, Gary White, he got his RBA degree. Our vice president of operations, Brady Jacobs-Jones, she got her RBA degree. The manager of business operations here, Carol Delula, she got a portfolio because she does more accounting than any of us would ever imagine is possible. She got her RBA through us. Vince Curry, have you ever heard of him? He graduated, and I led the pack as he walked across the stage. He was, head taller than me, maybe 2 heads taller. I already told you about Donald Ward, the VP of Huntington Bank. Mark Gilliams, the CEO of Steel West Virginia, right down the street. He just got his RBA this past spring. Jan Rader, if you've heard of her, she is getting her RBA. Actually, she needs 2 more classes. She's finishing her this semester. And she's one of the Times 100 most influential people. So we're trying to squeeze in those 2 classes in between all the other things she has to do. Tim D'Agostine, who's CEO of Cambium Industries, who's also one of our Board of Governors members. He got his RBA degree. He's been a big booster. In our office, Marie Willis, who's our administrative secretary, Sarah here, and Susan Midkiff all got their RBA degrees. In fact, I'm the only one who didn't, because I'm not from around here. So Sarah was going to talk maybe a little bit about the future plans and what she's been doing. She's been doing a lot of outreach to community colleges and things like that.
Before I came to Marshall, I actually started with the Higher Education Policy Commission right when I graduated. I was going to be a history major and needed a capstone and 2 foreign language classes to finish with my history degree. And I was wife and mom and was working full-time, and none of the classes that were left in my degree plan were offered in the evening or online, so that I could be able to take those 2 to finish. So I transferred to the RBA program my final semester and graduated in May of 2010. It took me about 6.5 years to graduate with my bachelor's degree. I got married, had a kid, and like I said, I was working full-time. So I am, 1, a poster child for our program, but 2, very much the traditional, non-traditional student that sometimes we see migrate into our program. I never did leave Marshall, but it just took me a while to get, so from that perspective, I understand what a lot of our students are going through in regards to needing to finish, but maybe they're running out of financial aid, maybe they're running out of opportunity, or maybe they're getting their last semester of education and get in the classroom and realize that they really don't want to be a teacher. So, that's where our program kind of comes into play. I think we're the only program state mandated. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so it is by law that we have to be on campus here. All the major institutions in the state of West Virginia have the RBA program in order to help with graduation rates because, like he said, we may get students that are failing one class that they have to graduate, say, in the psychology department, but they still want to walk in December, so they get to walk with a graduating class, but they actually get an RBA degree through us and file that paperwork 3 days before class finishes. So, and then we're scrambling. But it is a really great option. I'm in the communications master's program right now, so our degree obviously does lead into master's programming, and we're currently creating pathways for students. So the emphasis that we have right now in the program, which is a lot of geography, IT, we've got psychology, sociology, things of that nature. We're creating pathways for students so that they can get into our program, and though they don't have a major, they do have an emphasis that can lead them later into a master's program. One we're currently working on is with West Spradlin through the MBA program. We've got to navigate that 27 hours to make sure we don't, violate the accreditation stuff, but we have a lot of students that they'll come to the College of Business, but they came from West Virginia Junior College, but none of those credits are going to work for that program, and we work really well with them. They'll just say, why don't you go talk to RBA, and then you can come right back to us for the MBA. And so we do a lot of co-advising with other departments to make sure these students have exactly what they need in regards to going into a master's program. Susan, who's the other advisor, is in leadership studies. So, a lot of these programs that we have on campus, we are re-enrolling these students as graduate students and keeping them here. So moving into this this fall, because I worked at the Higher Education Policy Commission, I also worked for Community College, Southern West Virginia Community Technical College, for an extended period of time. I kind of have very much of a community college mindset, and I have to in our program because a lot of our students are adult learners, and they seem to be a bit needy. I love them, but they are, I'm just saying. And community college students in general are super needy because it's a one-stop shop feel, and Marshall is not like that, and it's just because we're too big. So when you go into MCTC, or you go into Southern, you go into Bridge Valley, you walk into their main office, and it's admissions, it's recruiting, it's registration, it's advising, yay. Okay, they're lucky it's all in Old Main. You're welcome, right? And so with our program, we kind of have to navigate that a little bit because our students are a lot needier than some students coming to school. The people we're recruiting are kind of like the parents of the people you all are recruiting as far as that's concerned, because it's true. I can't tell you how many times somebody's walked up to our table and they're wanting just info about Marshall in general, but then after talking to them, they're always like, well, I wish I would have finished my degree, and then they don't realize that we've got these things in place that could help them do that, especially with the Higher Education Policy Commission. If they have mining certifications, pharmacy tech license, respiratory therapy, cosmetology, they actually get credit hours for that. And so, they could be a lot closer than what they think. We have a 20% increase in our department coming into this fall from last fall. So we actually currently are about 40 to 50 students ahead of where we were at this time last year. And I think a lot of that has to do with, one, the articulation agreements that Dr. Pittenger helped to roll out, and two, because I worked in community college and Higher Education Policy Commission, I have contacts. And so those people feel, I guess, that they probably just like, well, I have this person down at Marshall, let me send you to that person. But we're really pro other programs. So if somebody gets sent to our department, but we think they're a better fit for business, then we will pop them over there. That's, no big deal. But being present at these community college events has been pretty explosive in regards to our numbers and kind of facilitating that relationship between Marshall and community and technical colleges when I was at Marshall, I went to MCTC when it was still Marshall's Community and Technical College. And I missed that feel a little bit because I felt like, okay, I'm a community technical college student, but I feel like I'm at Marshall. You see what I. And so I feel like these community technical college students are scared of us because of that. They don't feel comfortable. So we have just more plans to be present at the community technical colleges because of the articulation agreements. The RBA program is the easiest articulation agreement to roll out. For example, Bridge Valley has a dental hygienist program, and it's one of the only ones like offered around the area, and they have to have like 70 some hours in order to graduate. So we accept 72, and so it would make more sense for them to come to the RBA program and just finish out that 48 hours than it would be for them to move into another bachelor's program to start all over again. And so, when it's things like that we can cater to that degree program a bit more. Also, the Coalfield Development Corporation, which is a big initiative that's going on in the southern part of the state, where they work and get credit for that, but then they also take so many community college hours. It's a technical studies degree. That doesn't translate very well to any of our degree paths here. RBA really is the best option. The majority of those students are 30 and older. So I've just been working a lot with businesses, corporations, and then community and technical colleges because, that's where I feel comfortable and that's where I have some contacts. And then just being more of a presence in the community. I can't tell you how many adult learners will come to us and say, I didn't even know you guys existed. I jokingly say we're the best kept secret at Marshall University because we have a lot of students that will come into our office and just say, well, I kind of heard about you guys, but I have no idea what this is, and I just need a bachelor's degree to promote at my job. And it was like right before graduation in May, I had a student that came in. She was actually just qualified for disability. She was in the last year of our nursing program here and had to drop out because her husband got cancer and he passed away. And she has a nerve condition that prevents her from standing or sitting for long periods of time, so that prevents her from working. She said the biggest regret she had was that she wasn't able to get her bachelor's degree. She said even if it wasn't in nursing, she still wished she could have gotten a bachelor's degree from Marshall. Ironically, between those two times, she'd gotten her cosmetology license, and she was 12 hours short of graduation with the hours she had. And because she had her cosmetology license and the previous coursework from Marshall University, she came in Tuesday before graduation and got to walk on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the super coolest part about this job, because it's like you get to see people that come into the office, crying people that feel like they're not going to finish their graduation. They're on financial aid warning already. They're stressed out. They don't know what they're doing. They pop into our office, and we can give them at least that hope of being able to graduate with a bachelor's. And as you probably know, in our current job market, a general bachelor's is really what's basically needed with the majority of the jobs, especially for state jobs, public sector, and even Marshall University. So, but that's kind of what we've got going forward. And you're probably going to see me around a lot. I'm excited. We met months ago.
Yeah, we did.
So, but that's kind of what we got.
So, what can we do to help you guys? Is there anything?
High fives. I take high fives.
All right.
No. I think Ella. A lot of y'all are busy. Hold on. I got hair in my mouth. I'm sorry. That was weird. Anyway, so don't even talk to me about weird. So Ella had been forwarding me like some events at community colleges just to have a table up. And since a lot of those students are our target, anything that you guys have that you think, hey, right? I just said. Anyway, anything that you guys have that maybe you think that adult learners would be there, or if you need someone to come talk to people's parents about coming back to school.
I mean, it's often I'll be at a fair for like at a high school, and they're there for their kids, but they're like, you know what? I wish I would have.
I use some brochures. We're actually redesigning these brochures with Sue Tams this year, but
yes, we are redoing
these. So we can get new ones.
Yeah, whenever you get new ones, just send them over to us.
But if you guys have events that you guys go to that you, because a lot of the ones at the community and technical colleges, I've been talking to all students because They're wanting academic advisors present. I can do an eval for a student on the spot. So like at a community college, they can go print off their transcripts. I can work them up really quick. We have like an unofficial form that we do to work them up. So if you guys go to an event that you think might be like that, or you just, I am an academic advisor. So like if you have an event that you're going to that you think that might be cool to have, I will totally show up if I can work it out. Obviously the beginning of the semester super sucks.
Career fairs might be good for you guys.
Yes.
I don't know if you go to those.
We try.
Yeah,
and then that's the other thing too, like we're because Susan and I just I keep saying we just started, we've been here a year.
Not funny yet.
But I'm just saying, like, beforehand, we've kind of had this new people in the office, so we're kind of taking a new approach. And, doing stuff like career fairs. We did something recently in Huntington where all of us showed up and kind of put together business after hours kind of stuff. If it's events like that, I totally am down to go. And obviously, my boss is pretty flexible with that kind of stuff. And so, just to however we can facilitate recruiting with you guys is super awesome. And then, like I said, anywhere where, any type of advising might be beneficial, I will definitely make myself readily available if at all possible. So,
when you guys go into the high schools, you're probably not going to see many students who qualify for our program because they have to be 4 years out of high school before they can enter.
But she said parents. Yeah.
If you talk to parents, we've had secretaries from the schools come in. And
actually, we have a lot of staff from schools that will come in because even board office staff, they require at least a minimum of a bachelor's to move up into like payroll assistant too. So then they'll come to our program to
so
finish.
it might be in the more informal, might not be your targets, but when you see people who might benefit, or if you're at a college fair and somebody comes up and they say, hey, I already have a community college degree. There are 2+2 programs, and we know what most of those are, so we can point them in the right direction if there's something specific they want it. But if they want something that they can finish in 48 hours, 4 semesters, 12 hours a semester, then we're going to be their best option. So you'd be welcome to point them our way. We're leaving you cards, we're leaving you some brochures. Other questions?
I just want to say, I hope you don't remember me.
Haley.
Because
Yes.
last semester I was so excited and I did my senior eval. I was ready for it, check them all off. And she's like,
You're
yeah.
friends with Tanisha.
I am. And
I got a text.
yeah.
It was like, my friend's coming to your office right now.
And then I showed up, not even cute tears, snotty nose, shaking, I'm not